Oh, what's going on, everyone? Happy Friday. What's the look, Zach? What's wrong?
Suddenly, I'm thinking, do you have all the lights on at the studio?
I don't. I was setting the mood because it's Friday. You get it? No, I just forgot to turn it on. I'm staring at it right now.
I was going to say, I was like, the light is. When I just looked, I was like, there. You definitely do not have the right light on.
Did I not set the mood enough for you?
Well, it's just everything looked very differently colored, and I was like, this something is different. And I was like, he did not turn the light on.
Keeping the lights down low because it's Friday. Turn the lights down low. I have some issues, but welcome on in, guys. It is Friday. It is episode 129 of season 2 of the Ryan Ripken Show, and glad you guys could join in. Look, if you are looking for some baseball news, guess what? There just isn't, except apparently there's a rumor that's flying around that the Orioles are interested in your fourth favorite option. But actually, Zach and I are going to talk about the pros and cons to another name that the Orioles are linked to. Football, we're hearing some noise that they could figure out the head coaching search this week. Todd Monkin had a hilarious moment with Shedeur Sanders, and we love us some Coach Todd Monkin, so we'll talk about that. Emmanuel Acho clapped back at his viral tweet yesterday. There's some thoughts there. And then, later on we'll have our call-ins for the Rips Better Kids on YouTube. We will put the link in. We'll have a little designated time. We'll call in. We'll check in. We'll talk about Friday. And we'll be rocking and rolling. And if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Ryan Ripken Show. We do this live Monday through Friday right here on YouTube, X, and Facebook. Sorry, I also was trying to just wolf down some food.
I could tell while we were in the countdown. Everyone might say the countdown is too long, and we get that. The shorter we make the countdown, the more people have complained about the countdown. But, yeah, it was 3 minutes. OGs remember the 5-minute countdown. That was – looking back, that was something. Also, shout out Novak Djokovic, GOAT, just unreal. One of the biggest upsets we've seen. Unreal. He's just the GOAT. He really is. So shout out Novak Djokovic. What a time. Beating Sinner last night. Everyone thought Sinner was going to win in 3 sets. Just sweep him. And then everyone woke up, and there it was. God. What a time. What a time. But that's kind of like the biggest news. We are at a very dead part. Like the week before the Super Bowl, I'm not all – because once the Super Bowl goes by, then I get into college basketball, and I'm like all in on that. Then spring training's coming up, and you got the best of both worlds for that. This is just like – football's not over, but it's over. Basketball, like we've gotten into conference plays, but like there's still a month before it really gets like intense. We're just
and look, it's overall here when you're looking at it. This is the timing here. The Super Bowl is gonna come and go. So for football fans, you're gonna enjoy the big game. Apparently there's some commercial leaks and bringing back
horrible
rivalries. Wait, did you not
horrible?
You didn't see the Pepsi one that got
leaked? That was awful.
You thought that was awful?
No, it's awful because why are we releasing Super Bowl commercials a week and a half before the Super Bowl?
Okay, now I get your point. I agree. I agree with that. I don't need to know it, but if that's the quality, I want a little bit more of that chaos. I want it to sting. I want it to be creative and like poke fun in a fun way, or maybe not a fun way, and then we talk about it. Like I can't wait to rank Super Bowl commercials after the Super Bowl. Like that is one of the things as a fan, if you're not rooting for a team, go back and be like, that was really good, or man, that was a load of horseshit. And they paid $5 to $10 million just for that amount of time. It might even be more now, Zach. I mean, I don't even know.
Yeah, and it was one of those things where the commercial itself, fantastic. I mean, you get the Coldplay reference in there. Like, it was if that would have hit in the middle of the Super Bowl, oh, that's incredible. And someone posed the question, is it really a Super Bowl commercial if we're leaking them a week and a half out?
What is the point of leaking it now?
That's what I just didn't get, because it was were they just too excited? Like, they were like, oh, this is just really good. We want to get it out there as fast as possible, because I didn't get why we're releasing. So, like, what happened to the world I love? Like, what happened? It just, we used to be a proper country where you sat down and you knew that companies were coming with the heavy hitters on Super Bowl Sunday. Now it's like Yamamoto out there. Like, we are he could pitch every game. You might see him in the big game 7. You might see him in games 5, 6. Like, now we're using Super Bowl commercials everywhere.
And you know what?
That's the point.
And if for some of the ones that got leaked, I'm encouraged, but yeah, let's save them for the moment, because in the moment, the outrageous parts of it, or the creativity, or you're in your feels, that's what makes watching the Super Bowl even that much more enjoyable. Zach, like, people have lists, right, of what could happen in the Super Bowl, and you can create your list, and you can kind of over and under how many times something happens, or you have your own scoring and category. Like, you can make it an event. That to me, that could be a top tier one. It could.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is like, it was such a good commercial. Like, that was brilliant. But why aren't we keeping it up our sleeve? That's like, that hits during mid-second quarter of the Super Bowl. People are going nuts online. That's getting the people going. But I just don't. And I know people are talking about, like, you got to get as much mileage out of it as possible. If, like, the Budweisers, like the classic Budweiser commercials with the little dog and all of that at the Super Bowl that everyone just loves, if they put that out a week and a half before, people, by the time it gets to the Super Bowl, I've seen it 7 times. Yeah. Like, I didn't get that. Didn't get that. That might be a grind my gears moment. Like, why are we releasing Super Bowl commercials a week, 10 days out?
I'll tell you what, the creativity seemed great. And I know, saying, well, we're talking about it now, I'm not a huge soda guy to begin with, but now I'm like, you know what? It's just not as special. And I don't want to go drink Pepsi or Coke products now. I don't want to do either. You know what? But the avocados from Mexico, if they get humming during the Super Bowl, I'm going to go buy every damn avocado imaginable. Those commercials got the people going. I hope that they're doing some for this year, because they were always great. So, oh, sugar, we could have this whole conversation about.
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
It got me upset. I just don't like. There's something magic about Super Bowl commercials. I feel like we're losing. It's like that Michael Irvin rant. Like, we're losing recipes. Hold the Super Bowl commercials till the Super Bowl.
You know what, Michael Irvin? Yeah, we are losing recipes. I would love to be able to ask Michael Irvin about that. And belt to ass. There's a lot of things I want to ask Michael Irvin about here. Maybe we will. Anyway, why don't we talk a little bit about the show? Should we start with baseball and then we'll go back to football?
Yeah, might as well.
Okay, so everyone, new to the channel, welcome on in. We're having fun this Friday. But are you having fun with this Orioles offseason? Are you enjoying what's been going on the last few weeks? Because if you guys heard my rant yesterday, I am not having a good time with that. And not from the sense of the X's and O's and making the team better or not, but this is the part of the offseason and even the sports season where I don't like hearing 7 different ways of why or why not on a player. It's the same thing over and over again. And what we know is Framber Valdez has not signed. Framber Valdez, who knows who's fully interested? The Orioles, apparently the Orioles are interested in pitching. If you heard me talk about John Heyman's tweet yesterday of him saying, well, these are the teams I'm hearing want starting pitching, and he listed half of baseball, and it's like, no shit. Teams want pitching. Not all of them are going to be in for Framber, but teams need pitching. So here's another then John Heyman tweet or report that I do think we need to talk about, because let's play the hypothetical here. The Orioles don't get Gallen or Framber Valdez. Well, John Heyman's saying they've expressed interest in free agent starting pitcher Lucas Giolito. So before we jump down, and I know some people are got to go, you got to be absolutely kidding me. Let's break this down for a minute, okay? So there's a stat line, and MLB Deadline News tweeted this out with that stat line. Gio had a really solid year last year when you look at the numbers. Now, numbers aren't going to tell the whole story, which we will discuss here in a second, but 10-4 on the year, 3.41 ERA, and just under 150 innings pitched. Zach, like, for a guy, if that's the numbers, that's pretty solid. Now, you looked at what his expected ERA was, which, again, expected didn't happen, right? Like, the ERA is the ERA, but the numbers were a little bit higher on that, correct? What was that final number at?
Yeah, so just I looked up the stats because he had a very good June plus. In 113 innings, he had 20 games started. He had a 3.03 ERA across that to end out the season, but he did have a 4.86 expected ERA, a 4.08 FIP, and a 4.69 expected FIP. Like you said, though, expected stats are as good as me saying, oh, that was lucky. Does not matter. It's about results. Maybe the underlying things aren't as great. But it's funny, I wanted to pull this up because obviously this is what everyone's going to be talking about. So I'm not saying one is better than the other or Lucas Giolito is better than Framber, but I did want to kind of just real fast bring this up from their past season. I really hope I just brought up the right one. So, as you can see, here's just a little comparison. Obviously, the WAR games started and innings pitched are all going to Framber. Doesn't surprise me, especially the games started and innings pitched, because that's what he's known for. He is a workhorse. You know you are getting 30-plus starts out of Framber a year. ERA leans to Giolito. ERA plus leans Giolito. More strikeouts, better K percentage to Valdez, less walks to Giolito, but that's also in 50-ish, 45, 47, real fast, quick math there. Less innings, and his walk percentage is better. So when you look at this stuff, there is some comparable things. Obviously, a lot of the counting stats are going to be swayed more towards Framber because he just pitched more innings. But that in and of itself is something you're paying for when you get Framber. You want that he is going to consistently go out there and eat innings. Is Giolito Framber Valdez? No. He's not, but Giolito's kind of a guy that I put in that Zach Eflin range, where I think if you get him, he can slide into your 3-4 spot, and you feel really good about that right now in Baltimore. But I think where the disappointment comes in is Framber Valdez slides into your 1 or 2. And people want when there is a big fish on the market. Now, I don't know how many people want him still, because let's be honest, this is getting very annoying. I am annoyed. Cool. Like, sign or don't sign. It sucks that we're at this point with such a talented pitcher where it feels like the consensus around fan bases is, dude, just make up your mind. We're tired of this. But Giolito, is he a star ace? All that? Not necessarily. But is he a guy that can get the job done? Yeah, I just think it is a much lower ceiling and a lower floor than a Framber Valdez.
And here's another discussion here. And again, this is not us saying, oh, sign Giolito over Framber or sign
No.
over Zach Gallen. That's not what's being said, but it's context. So one thing I've heard about, well, Lucas Giolito has been very injury riddled. He's not durable. I want to debunk that for a second. Yes, he did miss 2024. He did. Didn't pitch in 2024. Last year, he had 26 starts. 2023, when he was fully healthy, he had 33 starts. In 2022, he had 30 starts. 2021, 31 starts. Shortened season for 2020, but 12 starts, so that's a full season then. 2019, when he was an all-star, he had 29 starts, and 2018, which was his first full season in the big leagues, 32 starts. So when we're looking at durability, don't look at the 1 year he missed, because every pitcher is going to have that asterisk to them. Like Corbin Burns was, wow, Corbin Burns is a workhorse. And guess what? Corbin just missed last year, right? Mm-hmm. It's the body of work that matters on that side of it. Now, for Gio, he actually has had solid campaigns. People don't want to talk about that part. Going back to 2019, Zach, where that was his second full season as a starter, he had 3 straight years with an ERA of a sub 3.53. And then 2023, he had a solid start with the White Sox. And when he got traded, he was just complete poo.
Yeah.
Just poo. He was poo in 2023. And then he bounced back to that 3.41. So 4 of his last 6 seasons have had an ERA that's a sub 3.53. And again, I've talked to you guys about this. Dean Kramer, with his ERA in the 4s last year, that was top 35 in baseball. So, Zach, let's play a quick game. Off of Gio's ERA from last year, I want you to guess where that would land him over qualified pitchers for most or for ERA last year. Just out of your curiosity, I want to hear your thoughts.
For ERA, I'm going to say
ERA, which he didn't qualify because he didn't get to like 150 innings.
Yeah.
But context,
if he was qualified, I think he would be top 20.
Yep, that is correct.
Yeah.
And you know whose ERA would be 1 point higher than his?
Who?
The guy that everyone wants the Orioles to trade for, Joe Ryan.
Ooh.
You want another name on this list? He had a better ERA last year than Kevin Gausman. He had a better ERA than Framber Valdez. He had a better ERA than Zach Littell. He had a better ERA than Merrill Kelly. He had a better ERA than Jesus Luzardo. He had a better ERA than Mitch Keller, Dean Kramer, Sonny Gray, Will Warren, Dylan Cease. So, look, I'm not making this case to say that fans shouldn't be disappointed if Gio's the option. But I think Gio as a fallback, if that's what happens, really right now on paper, 4 of the 6 years, he's been solid. And he's not old, Zach. Like, that's the other thing here. Gio is 31 years old. He'll be 32 during the season. And Gio and I overlapped in the Nats organization. That's where he started his career. He was one of their top prospects. And overall, Gio, I'm just trying to straighten up a little bit, but Gio, he was a top prospect for a reason. He has talent. So it's not the move that Oriole fans would want, but I still stick by this answer. Whether the Orioles sign another pitcher or not, they have, if they stay healthy, enough to compete to start the year. I still believe that, because what's more important is how you get your team to be fundamentally sound and be good in situational opportunities. Most teams, you have to excel in one thing. The Orioles need to excel at one-run games. And don't say to me, well, Ryan, it's pitching. I know. Pitching, when you get later in the season and the postseason, yeah, it's going to matter. But also the strength of your team has to reign through. The Texas Rangers, when they won the Orioles in 2023, Texas was not a good road team for the season. Their pitching was pedestrian, specifically their bullpen, but they were a juggernaut of an offense, and they got healthy, and they just whooped ass. Now, that Orioles team that I just mentioned in 2023, Zach, they were not a top rotation in baseball. Not even close. Grayson and Kyle Bradish finished the year out extremely well. But overall, the Orioles were not a unit that you would say that starting pitching staff that ended up having the most wins in the American League, that is the one right there. Now, obviously, didn't work out for them. But, Zach, real quickly, because I'm on that subject of it, hold on just a minute. Where's the pitching stats? Always under 3 seconds as a team. The table for Hamana. Table for Hamana, Zach.
Are you pulling something up on the screen?
I am. So the Orioles bullpen, if people remember, that actually was a big strength for them. And the Orioles ended up finishing strong. But earlier in the year, they were in the top 15, and Grayson and Kyle Bradish pushed them to 7th. Last year, in 2025, Zach, do you want to guess team ERA for the – where are they? I just had them right here. Losing my mind. Making my way downtown.
Are you going to say for the Dodgers?
I was going to say for the Blue Jays. I got them now. And the Dodgers. Tell me where the Dodgers and the Blue Jays both ranked team ERA last year.
Team ERA or bullpen ERA?
Team ERA.
Ooh, okay. So including everyone. God, both. I mean, the Dodgers bullpen was atrocious. I'm going to say Dodgers. I'm going to say both were in that 10 to 20 range. I don't know if were either in the top 10.
Nope.
Yeah, I was going to say
either were in the top 15, Zach, but you are right. They finished in the top 20.
Yeah.
The Los Angeles Dodgers had the 17th best ERA, 17th in baseball with a 3.95, and the Toronto Blue Jays, who won the American League East, who were the number one team in the AL, who then went on to be a couple outs and a slide away from beating this Dodgers team. The Blue Jays had a 4.19 ERA. But I'll keep banging this drum. You have to excel in other categories if you're going to have success. You have to excel and prove the greatness of what you have. Last year, the Blue Jays might have had the middle of the pack, kind of bottom third in pitching. Zach, they were number one in hitting.
Yeah.
The Orioles, when they won all those games in 2023, they were the best or one of the best teams in one-run games. I think they were 30-16. And if you want to take it a step further, they did have the most comeback wins in 2023. So whatever style that you have as a team, that is going to be more important to start off a year than Gio, Framber, or Gallen signs. Now, the difference is, Zach, would it make you on paper a hell of a lot better if you got Framber? Yes. Is the upside of Zach Gallen higher than Giolito? Absolutely. But if the worry is getting another pitcher that you feel can help a team that does not have the pitching depth, and we just had Keith Law on yesterday to talk about top 100 prospects for pitchers. Spoiler, if you haven't seen it yet, there are 0 pitchers on that list. Yeah. So adding a guy like Gio as your 6th, while not ideal, it can be a very solid move because depth to me is going to be more important to start the year than if they land Framber or not. And I don't know if they will. But one of those 3, Zach, I think will end up in Baltimore. It just seems like it makes all the sense, but only one of those.
Yeah, I think Framber goes to like San Fran or something now. I just don't. And I'm just going off of vibes at this point. I don't think he wants to play here. I just don't. I think if he wanted to, deal would have gotten done. We've heard how aggressive they are, and I don't know anything. It just feels like I think at this point teams are getting annoyed. They just want to move on. Just get like we're at that point where it's just like, can we just start the season? Like everyone just go to your teams and we'll start. Like that's just where we're at. Like this is that grueling 2 weeks before pitchers and catchers are reporting. People are trying to hold out to the last second. And it's like, let's just move on. Like Super Bowl's next week, people. We gotta pick this thing up. Let's all get our ducks in a row.
For sure. And the last thing to close out the Gio conversation, which I didn't think that we'd get to this option because I really felt like Zach Gallen and Framber would be that. But just here's the reality. You need depth. Lucas Giolito is a bona fide big league pitcher. Now, could he go out and suck next year? Sure. But we've seen it in free agency over the time of this. And this is not a Charlie Morton situation. This is not any other. This is a guy that's 31 that bounced back, and 4 of his last 6 years have been really, really solid. Yeah. And he's pitched games, and he's been out there. And plus, he has the pedigree of being a top prospect. So for the Orioles and for any team right now, you want to make sure you have depth. The other team in the American League East that people are going, whoa, they didn't make enough moves. Well, they got Cody Bellinger. Good for the Yankees. You know also what they did? They traded for Ryan Weathers, an upside lefty that can start or go to the pen. Did the Yankees necessarily need it? Would people have rather them had Freddie Peralta and make that trade? Sure. But you know what it did? It gave them options. It gave them depth because that is going to be more valuable for the first 3 months of the season than it is for the last 3, and that's where the trade deadline can become so important. So if you are new to this channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Ryan Ripken Show. We do this live Monday through Friday right here on YouTube, X, and Facebook. Now, next week, we will be out there at Radio Row in San Francisco. We have a lot planned, a ton. So stick with us on what that scheduling could be next week because, one, it's going to depend on how good is our quality of internet. That's going to be number one. And then number two, we have guests galore that are just kind of – we're going to be going – Zach, you already know the drill, but we're going to be rocking out there from 8 a.m. Pacific time all the way until probably 4 p.m., and then we're going to get all of our stuff together, get the content that we need out, and then keep moving, right? So I don't think – so the hours, because of the time change, might be a little bit different. So bear with us, but we have so much content. And then obviously, Zach, you mentioned it, in 2 weeks, spring training starts, which we're also scheduling time to go down and make some things happen. And no, by the way, the World Baseball Classic's right around the corner. So things you can look forward to. Spring training, World Baseball Classic, March Madness, opening day. Just like that.
It's coming. It's coming.
Sports. Is there any other baseball stuff that we got?
Jacob Wilson signed an extension. Good for him.
Hey, 7-year deal. Do we have the numbers out on that yet or no?
I think it's 770. I think it's like 10 mil. Yeah, it's not a massive deal. Let me make sure though.
Yeah, it's 770.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's 770.
Good for him. So I mean, in 7 years, he'll be 26.
No, he's not 19.
Yeah. Thinking of the wrong thing.
I was like, no. Gosh. I'm just ready for the season to start. I'm just ready for spring training to start. Let's just know who's on the teams, and then all the rumors can be about who's going to make the team, and we can all get upset about that random guy that's going to definitely start in AAA and why he's not going to make the team. Like, can we just get to the point where we're upset about that? That's what I'm ready for. Like, I'm ready for Trey Gibson to have a 0 ERA across 5 starts in spring training and everyone be just distraught when he starts out in AAA. That's what I'm looking for.
Sports. Hey, you know what? I was thinking about vibes for a second. It's Friday. We're vibing. Did you see the was it down the Dominican Championship where I think it was Jeffrey on the pitcher strike out and he jumped up in the air and almost did the splits?
Yeah, he is one of the most. I don't know, like electrifying is a word for it, but just every out's the World Series for him, and I appreciate that. You know, like I appreciate that every little moment for him. He's like, I just struck out one of the best hitters in the world. Why am I not going to celebrate? Hell yeah.
Good for him. Hey, you know what? The ball down there, a lot of passion. A lot of passion. It's like
I love ball. Just love ball.
It's not just a game. It's a lifestyle. It's a culture movement down there. Electric, dude. Electric. Now, can it get a little crazy? I mean, that's hard to do for a 162 in the U.S., but that's why the World Baseball Classic is going to be fun, is because of the passion you're playing for your country, and that's the beauty of this. Down playing outside the U.S., there's more of that passion than in MLB because it's just not the same setup. Now, postseason baseball, though, the intensity, the stress, oh baby, that stress factor, you know the difference between regular season ball and postseason ball.
Bring back the one-game playoff.
I'm
still a massive proponent. I loved wild card one game. What do you got for one game? Let's play it like game 7. All hands on deck. Those were my favorite. Maybe it's because we got Joe Saunders versus Yu Darvish. Joe just shoved. Biggest game of your life. Here you go.
Well, they had the one game Trevor not Hoffman, sorry, but I think it walked off. But the Rockies Padres, when the Rockies won like 19 of 20 games, that was a one game playoff. And Matt Holliday slid head first, busted his face.
When was it that, unfortunately, it was a few years later. I think it was, because I'm pretty sure it was the Royals. They were down like 5 runs in the first. And then they came
at the A's.
Yeah.
Came back and won, and then they went on a freaking heater and just were mowing down teams, dude. They were fun. That was a good team. That was a fun team. And again, goes back to the whole thing about getting hot and staying hot at the right time. That's what it's about here. But we're not going to worry about getting hot, staying hot, because 1, it's so damn cold outside, and 2, we are still so far away from the regular season. We're getting there slowly, but I'm with you. I'm going to go talk to is Commissioner Rob Manfred, would he be Uncle Rob or would he be Father Rob?
He would be Uncle. I think we're just sticking with Uncle. I will say though, don't need any speculation, but Nnamdi Madubuike just tweeted out good news. So hoping, football aside, even if it means he's coming back, can play, whatever, hopefully, just because neck injuries are very scary, hopefully that's just great news for him as a person, but everyone's freaking out about that. So hope he's doing well. He has been very, come and go on social media recently since the injury. So hopefully he's doing well.
Yeah, I'm hoping, man, because look, on the football side or any team side, you can have great coaches and an infrastructure. Having great players, that helps a lot. That helps a lot. And you can't make no mistake on the injuries things can have. In baseball, you can feel it when a star misses time, but no one cares about the excuses. You got to find a way. But when they are out there, there's a reason why they get paid that money. And Madubuike, it's a reason why he got paid that money. He's a game wrecker. We're talking about setting a tone at the line of scrimmage. That's a tone setter. It's one of the tone setters on your team. And in baseball wise, you see it all across. Aaron Judge is that for the Yankees. I think Jordan Westberg's that for the Orioles. That lifeline, I think Gunnar has that ability with him as well. Jose Ramirez for the Guardians, perfect example of that. Guys just have that to it. Got to. As we keep moving on then, because that's the crazy thing. That is the only baseball news. What do you got?
Nothing. I'm just kind of just Twitter. No.
You can't laugh and have a good time. Friday.
I can't just tee-hee on the show. But I was going to say, do we get a little tee-hee going on the show?
Did you just tee-hee me?
Did we just tee on the show?
Like, are you saying like he like that, or you're like no?
No.
Or
Do we
like
want to play our quick game? Do we want to play our ranking game for MLB on our Friday fun day?
Do we want to play our ranking game? Well, walk me through the ranks.
All right. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a little Friday fun day. We're going to do a little Friday fun day. And it's going to stick with baseball right now. Okay. So we have tiers here. A, B, C, and D. We're going to rank all 30 teams. This is how it's going to go. We are ranking all 30 Major League Baseball teams. In the A category, it is you can win the World Series. This is a World Series contender. B category is going to be you're a playoff team. Don't think you really can win the World Series, but you're going to make the playoffs. C, I'm putting in no man's land. We're going to go in the worst spot to be no man's land. And then D is going to go straight rebuild. That's just going to be your rebuilding team. So let's start this fun. Let's start this fun. We're just going to go in alphabetical order like they have it right here. So, Ryan, let's start with the Arizona Diamondbacks. You say, I'll get your opinion in a second. This is a team that I feel like just because of their situation I'm putting a B or C on this. You know, either they're a playoff team or they're in no man's. Like it feels like they're in no man's land because they have talent, but unfortunately, like the rest of the West, besides the Rockies, like this is a tough one because you're going to have to win a wild card here.
Yeah, C. I think it's a C. If you're looking at their division alone, drag that in there. Nice. I didn't know we had this. This is interesting.
Yeah.
So C division. If you're looking at it, are you better than the Dodgers and the Padres? I don't think so. I think the Padres still have the horses. Are you better than the Giants? That's a toss-up. So right there, you're third or fourth in your own division, and you have the Mets, the Braves, the Phillies, the Central that has the Brewers, the Cubs. Yeah, give me C for the D-backs. There's no doubt about that. Now the A's are interesting.
I'm going to put. I'm going to take. I think the A's are a playoff team.
I was going to say they're not in no man's land.
No,
they should have been better earlier last year, but they got onto a run. Jacob Wilson, they got Hurts. And he's a beast. They got some good young
Langoliers. Players. They've got a lot of star power there. Rooker, friend of the show, friend of the program. I think maybe we should have created another tier and it's like the fringe playoff teams, but I'm going to say they're competing for the playoffs because I don't think that they're a World Series team. So I think, are we both good with B? They can be a playoff team, but I don't think they're a World Series team.
I think we can go ahead and put that wasn't going to sound right. I was going to say, let's go put the A in the B. And
okay, yeah,
the A's, yeah, it just
did not.
Let's go put the A's in the B.
Wait, real fast. I see Mouse Talk saying they're, but I don't think this is where we maybe needed another tier, and this is why we're adjusting on the fly because I don't think they're no man's land. I think they're better than no man's land. I think they're competing. Like if we
had the tier set, this team goes like, these young guys got heart or something like that. Where like
they're gritty.
Yeah,
they're gritty. So we're gonna put them in B. Now I'm second guessing myself, but you know what? We're keeping them in B. Maybe we needed another tier most likely, but now next time we'll know. Braves, they got to be a playoff team. I don't think they win a World Series. Are you going to say? What are you thinking?
I think the Braves sneaky could win. I do.
The whole we're in between A and B now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, overall with these teams, if you're looking at the Braves, team that was very banged up, You're getting Chris Sale back. You have superstar talent on your team, and you just got to get in. If you were to say to me, the Braves get in, would you put them against anybody else in the National League? I think I would. It's going to depend on their big horses, but yeah, I mean, I would.
You know what? Here's how we're going.
But
I think here's how we put this. Since we kind of messed up, hand up, that's on me, on the categories. I think A is they have any potential to win the World Series. B is they have potential to make the playoffs. C is no man's land. D is full rebuild. I'd still like the A's. They have potential to make the playoffs. I would be okay with this new ranking of Braves are in A because, like you said, especially if you get by the Dodgers, I think that offense and, the pitching staff, if it, gets back on track, I could say, nice. So fantastic.
Well, luckily we're getting a quick scan. You have a lot to scan there.
I know. This
something.
is why I didn't. I was going to say, should have paid for the paid version. So are we good with Braves in A?
If we're doing I think they have the potential.
I think just you got something? I think solely going off of they have the potential to win it all.
Okay, yeah, then I'm going to stay with A.
Yeah, because I think that's another one where I wish we had that in-betweener. But
so maybe, I think also I think what we should, Zach, let's save the Orioles and let's go. Let's knock out some. Let's go. Fair to say, I'm gonna pick teams right here. Let's just go. These are bona fide World Series contenders. Can we do that?
Yeah.
Let's start with that.
Let's go.
So, and agree with me or disagree. Bona fide Dodgers.
Yes.
I think the Blue Jays have proven that they're going to be there. People aren't going to like this. I still think the Yankees are in this discussion.
They can, as long as they have Aaron Judge. I know he doesn't show up in the playoffs like some hope, but
And then he also balled out in the postseason last year. It was the other guys. Mets.
Yes. Yeah. I'll put them as this is A is they just have the potential, and I agree. Yeah.
Phillies.
Oh, I might disagree with you there.
Okay. So right now of that list, is there anybody else on there that you would say that you go bona fide?
No. There's no one else that sticks out to me that goes, that's without a doubt a bona fide World Series. Like they can win it all.
Let's go.
Okay, wait. Padres. How are we feeling about the Padres? Can the Padres win it all?
If Gavin Sheets plays every day, then yes. You know what? Throw them in A. Throw them in there.
I think they have the talent to do it. I think, they're similar.
It literally comes down to Gavin Sheets. It's what it is. But overall, if we're going to go to what's D? Just no hope.
D is full rebuild. So maybe let's get those teams out of here. I think Nationals are in D.
Yep. Rockies.
Yeah, Rockies are just perpetually in D. I'm going to say Cardinals. Cardinals have to blow this up.
They're in a weird spot right now. They're in a weird spot. The Twins.
I would say the Cardinals are in a horrible spot of they're in between C and D. And they're like in no man's land because they've started to commit to a rebuild, but they still, I just don't know if it's there yet.
Oh yeah. So Twinkies, the Twins, they're in a rebuild.
Twins. Where am I missing the Twins logo?
Next to the Phillies.
Oh, there it is.
White Sox.
Mm-hmm.
This might be because they're not in no man's land. I would lean more rebuild. I'd say the Rays. I think the Rays are rebuild.
Although we can make the argument, are the Rays ever in a rebuild because they're going to go win 80 games for some reason. But I agree.
Really are. Yeah. All right. How about this? Now for C,
where are we putting the Marlins? Real fast. Because they're between C and D.
So, are they though?
Are you saying they're B?
Are they? They are not a no man's land team. Their trajectory of the moves that they've made and some talent, they might be behind the Athletics. So if that's the case, but we had to change the category of C.
Yeah.
Because that's my part. Because like, if we're just going like, yeah.
Oh, I do see but we probably do have to put the Angels in D. Do the Angels have?
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, Brady Anderson's gonna have the sideburns and the rollerblades going out there. So, BA.
Actually, they might be in D or in C. Angels, I might put in C because they're.
If you categorize it as no man's land, let's stick with that. So man's land, I would say the Angels are in that part. The Diamondbacks are in that part. I would argue right now the Giants are in that part too.
Yep, I was just gonna say.
The Rangers are in a no man's land in my mind. They have talent to win, but they're not as young as they were.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I think we have to put the Pirates here too. Obviously, I love their pitching's incredible, but I just don't know if the offense, like they're not rebuild, like they're going for it more, but I don't think they are in that. I don't think they make the playoffs this year, if that makes sense.
I agree.
So I think we got to put them in. Because then
with this rest of the group, then Marlins, if it's Marlins is that one team where they have upside, and they honestly like almost messed around, but do they have enough to compete in the AL East next year? If that's the case, no, then I would put them at C.
Yeah, I agree. And then I will say, just to kind of get it, just unfortunately, products of your environment, same reason that we unfortunately have to put the Diamondbacks at C. I think we can put the Tigers, Guardians, and Royals all in B because someone has to win that division. And all of them have the potential to do it. I actually kind of, and I was looking at that, I kind of like the Royals to win that division this year.
I would actually put the Royals in B because of that. Yeah. And I would put another team in that list that's there, which who would have thought they'd be in the spot? I would put the Astros in C.
Oh, wow. All right. I'm not going to lie. I almost argued with you for Astros in A. But I think it's off bias of I believe in what they've done. But you're right. I mean, it is. I don't know. They could come out and do almost nothing. Like, I could see them winning 75 games. They're an aging team. And for which for the Royals winning I love the Royals lineup. I think the Royals have really good pitching, and I think I love the Royals lineup. Little getting up there a little bit with some stars obviously like Sevy, or Salvi, but it's just I love the Royals lineup. I just think they are Michael Garcia, Bobby Witt Jr., Vinny Pasquantino. I really think that the Royals lineup has the best.
They underperformed last year with that.
Yeah.
And they should have done better and they didn't. So the Royals on paper, talent-wise, in that division, they should be right there with, and let's just throw this, the Guardians I think will be B because you can say all you want. They're going to find a way to just scratch and claw. That's the vote way. That's the team way. They've got that down. Then with their other team that could win the division, I would put the Tigers at B. I'm not sold on the Tigers winning the World Series.
No.
And then fair to say for us, Cubs, Reds, Brewers, I think those are all B.
Yeah, and that's where I keep saying it. A lot of these are products of their environment where we have to rank them because I think the Diamondbacks are as good as, the Guardians or the Royals, but I just don't see in such a tough NL where the Diamondbacks can really make the playoffs. I think they're in a hard spot right now. Whereas similar with, like you just said, with the NL Central, you could convince me that, the Brewers, Cubs, and you could convince me all those. Reds are such a tough one because if you believe in their talent, if you believe in the guys taking the next step, like the Ellys, if you believe in that insane young starting rotation with Abbott, Green, Louder coming up, Chase Burns, Lodolo, they have such a good pitching, I think.
So let's make it simpler for you. Brew Crew B. They get rid of guys. They still find ways. They won the most games in the National League last year. The Reds and Cubs are going to be on that B or C. It just depends on which way you lean with that. The Cubs, because of signing Bregman,
I think they're big.
I think they're B.
Yeah.
And I would be okay with the Reds. With that being said, yeah, what do you buy? You make the choice on the Reds. You buying the Reds, or are you going to say they're going to be in that tough no man's land of the rest of the National League?
I'm going to, unfortunately, and this sucks because I love what they're doing. Just, I don't see offensively what they're like. Their pitching staff is so good. And I would have loved for them to get Kyle Schwarber. I know they were in on him, kind of made not that great of an offer, but still, if they would have added one big bat, I would have loved. And maybe they go out and get an Eugenio Suarez or something. But if they would have gotten that one big bat, I would have put him in B. But I'm going to have to put them in C because tougher division because the Cubs and Brewers, the Brewers are just so good at being just 90 wins. Does not matter. They're like the Rays on steroids. The Rays, no matter what, are going to win between 80 and 85, and then they have that ceiling of they can go win 95 plus games. But the Brewers are just no matter how good or bad they are, 90 plus wins. It's just what they do.
For sure. So that leaves 4. I'm going to say this. I think the Mariners, while they're exciting, I think they're B.
Yeah,
I'm just not sold that they can win it. I love what the run they had. I loved what they've done, just not sold. Yeah. I know we're on a debate. I believe the Phillies can win the World Series. And we know this will be for the next tier. We established Zach fucked up. We are.
Yeah, that was on me. That's a hand up. That's on me.
Correct.
Gosh. So you're thinking I'm okay. If we're doing the Phillies can win the World Series, there is a chance. I'll give it to you. I'll put them in A because there is, now that we've kind of rearranged them and we're okay, A is you have any chance to win the World Series. I think Phillies are in A. I mean, and it's actually funny. It comes down to these two teams because they both feel very similar in the fact of a lot of young talent in that core. You've added some really good veterans to the roster, but you could also argue, even as a biased Orioles fan, you could give me an argument for both these teams missing the playoffs, and I'd be yeah. And you could also give me an argument for both of them winning the American League, and I'd be yeah.
So Boston, I'm going to go. They are World Series contenders. I'm going to buy their pitching. I buy the pieces that they have, and I would put them in that category of if their pitching does what it's supposed to do and they add a bat at some point, they can overthrow the Yankees and they could overthrow the Blue Jays. Hell, dude, they can win the division.
Yeah.
And if they win that division, they're probably the 1 seed, potentially. Mm-hmm. And then it runs through Boston, as much as it is. But Crochet and Ron Suarez and Sonny Gray, and Bayo, they got a good nucleus of a staff. Your only doubt is their offense going to keep it up? If they get one piece, they play at a great offensive ballpark. The Red Sox, to me, they belong in A. They are a trade away from another big bat, but right now, I think that team. This might even be crazier. I think the Red Sox are. If we're going to say right now, I think the Red Sox are going to finish with a better record than the Blue Jays. Like, that's just off of that, and it's not that I don't think that Toronto is not going to be good. I think it's just so hard to replicate that over and over. And I think the Blue Jays losing Bo Bichette's going to hurt a little bit more. But I trust Toronto's pedigree now in the playoffs. They've proven that they're comfortable. They've proven that they can handle pressure.
I will say, no matter where we put the last team, I'm realizing we only 3 divisions we feel like have a chance to win the World Series. Neither the Centrals and the AL West we've said you're not. Because we've got what we have at the moment, we have 2 NL West teams, we have 3 AL East teams, and we have 3 NL East teams. Wow. So where do we the $1 million question?
The last 2 years, the National League, Dodgers in the West have won.
Yeah.
Years prior, teams that have represented the World Series in the National League, the Diamondbacks, the Phillies, the Braves. And who am I missing in this list?
Phillies. No, you already said Phillies, Braves.
That's the East. And then in the American League, the Yankees, the Blue Jays, the last 2 years. The Red Sox have been a contending team for the World Series. Texas is that one outlier for that year, and Houston, which there's Houston. They're not the same Astros that they were. Yeah, so, I would love, you know me, I love seeing new teams win it. I'd love to see new teams win it. I love the parity. So, I'd love to see what happens with Baltimore.
So, where are we? And then we get some breaking news. The Ravens are hiring Declan Doyle as their offensive coordinator. All right.
Right in the middle of that's bigger news than making this decision. Zach, what do you think?
I told you, you could literally convince me of both all the way from A to oh man. This is tough. I would love if they sign Framber, like if they had Framber on their team right now, I'd put him in A. But it's hard for me, like, oh man, I'm trying so hard to not be biased in this. And that's what's like the hard part. If you put Boston in A, I think you have to put the Orioles in A. Like, and that's what I'm going to go off of. I think the Orioles and Boston, right when I said it, like you could convince me both of them would miss the playoffs and both would win the World Series.
It's interesting.
I think you have to connect them with Boston. I think our lineup is better than Boston's. Their pitching is better.
So you want my honest answer?
What are you thinking?
It's a good question. What am I thinking? I'm thinking, are they just gonna be in a rebuild?
It is funny because I really could just go up. I think I can add a line here now. Yeah, I could add a row, but just add a row between A and B. Just call it the Orioles. Maybe it happens, maybe they don't.
So my final answer here on this, taking bias out of it, like I truly taking bias out, I do believe the Orioles, even right now, would belong towards it. And here's the reasoning.
All right.
If they don't make any other move the rest of the way, they would fall down to B. Okay? But let me explain if we're talking about potential. And this is a reason why they won the most games over a 2.5-year period from 2020, actually 3-year period is 2022 to 2024, when they weren't supposed to be as good. They had that potential, but they just played situationally well. If you want to look at last year, the Orioles had one good game for every 2 horseshit games. It's essentially what it turned out for them on the year. But of those 3, I wouldn't even say horseshit. Let me take that back. If they had a 3-game series, this is what you would see. 1 uncompetitive game, 1 game they would win, and then that 3rd game to win a series, you needed to execute situationally. And I remember watching it, it'd be the 6th or 7th inning, and you'd sit there and be like, damn, these were the moments, and they passed. That happened too much. I'm buying the philosophy change on they're going to create more roles. The only way I don't see this offense being good, Zach, is if Pete Alonso gets hurt, or Westberg goes down, because I think those 2 guys are going to really carry a leadership component.
Oh, we're doing this again. There we go. We're back.
We're back. But for the Orioles to go on and accomplish the goal, they will need to trade or sign another guy. They will need to. But it doesn't mean right now, when we look at this, I'll go back to this. The Blue Jays the Blue Jays to me could be like what the Orioles could be like what the Blue Jays were last year. You're under the radar because you got this sick taste in your mouth of just how bad they played. You know what I mean? Like, you forget that they played well in 24 and 23 and 22 down the stretch. They are a much more talented and seasoned team than they were. If you don't buy that, then you should put them in B. But I am buying the fact that Wells is going to find a role in the bullpen and do his thing. Kyle Bradish will pitch a full season, and he is going to be a top 5 AL Cy Young Award pitcher. Trevor Rogers is at least 80% of what he was last year. I think Shane Baz will be, I don't want to say incrementally or substantially better, but I do believe his ERA is going to surpass a lot of people's expectations. I think he'll drop his ERA below 4. I think Dean is going to probably stay right where he is, maybe a little bit lower. Then Eflin's the wild card, but I do feel good about that, Zach. I really do. What worries me more than anything is if this team gets off to a slow start and they don't know how to win. That is the only worry that I have for this team. Because you know what the Orioles have also done really well the last 3 years, Zach?
What's that?
They've been very good against the AL East.
Yeah.
And the problem for them last year wasn't the AL East. It was against everybody else. Do you want to play? We'll play my game real quickly. What do you think the Orioles did against the East last year? And this is actually, they struggled down the stretch. The Yankees swept them because they were at 500. So I apologize. They went down. So they finished at 22-30 last year because starting off the year, they had a winning record when they were like 16 games under 500. And they just sucked in New York and they sucked playing, was it Boston, whoever. Let me go back to 2014. What do you think their record was?
2014?
They had 52 games. Yeah. Against their division.
14. God, I could not. 52. They won 34 of them.
Close. 32. They were 32 and 20. They were 32 and 20 in both.
Did you mean 14 or 24?
What?
2014 or 2024?
Sorry, 2024.
Okay, that's why I was I was like, I don't remember. I was like, okay, here we go.
We had a lot of thoughts, a lot of things that are fleeting.
I was prepared for it. I was like, okay, 24. Well, they had won a lot of games in 2014. So I just assumed, I was like, okay, the year they won the division, I thought you were making a point. That's on me.
So to finish out that point, in 2024 and 2023, the Orioles each season went 32-20. So those 2 years, they were 64-40 against the AL East. And then last year down the stretch, they still had a winning record until the last month or so against the division, and then they sucked and went from being right at 500 to being 8 under against the division. So the point of this is, if the Orioles get back to how they played against their division the prior 2 seasons, you're going to be in this. And if you're in this in the AL East, it means you're a pretty damn good team. And if you're a pretty damn good team, you got a good chance to get that 1 seed. If you get the 1 seed, you got a shot. But above all, Zach, this is just the honest question. If you're making the case for the Red Sox or the Blue Jays, on paper, talent-wise, do the Orioles match them in a talent perspective?
I think they can. I think if they play up to their, potential. I don't, especially with Bo Bichette gone and stuff, I think the Blue Jays, their pitching staff is really good. But I think the ceilings for their offense, I think the Orioles have a higher ceiling for their offense. So that really comes down to me. I would give the Blue Jays a slight bump. I think they are, especially, hey, they just represented the American League. So you're going to give them that bump. But I think their ceilings are very similar.
Where did the Orioles offense rank last year?
God, not. Well, it depends on what.
Let's talk about average, and let's talk about.
Average was pretty low.
Yep.
Well, RBIs was god awful. I mean, what Gunner 62 was RBIs. I'm going to say they were bottom 10 in both.
That's correct. They were both 24th in baseball, 235 batting average, and they're 24th in RBIs. You just added 2 RBI guys that combined had 229. Whatever it was, 29. Something has to give. And I don't expect them to drive in the 100 plus. I mean, Pete Alonso, I do. But this is my point. You want to know what the Toronto Blue Jays stats were in 2024? And this is how quickly it can change.
Not great.
They were 19th in batting average. When it comes to RBIs in 2024, they were 23rd, bottom 7. So the perception changes really quickly, and we'll move on. I know we talked about this for a while, but to close out the sheet there, yeah, you're asking about a World Series contender. Could they be? Do they have potential to get there? Yes. Right now, yes. To win it, to win the World Series, yeah, they're going to need probably one more piece.
Yeah.
But right now, when we're saying, yeah, it could be a playoff team, no. The expectation is they must go to the playoffs. That to me, that's the expectation. They must be a playoff team. The question is, how good can you be moving forward? So that's where I have it. Potential, yes, but still a lot to be done. The reason why I say it too, Zach, I can't say the same about some of those other teams. I could say that team, I expect them to make a run to the playoffs, but I know with the group that they have, I don't believe they have it to get it done.
Yeah, I think that's the thing is this is solely based off potential. The Orioles have the potential. It's whether or not they can live up to it, and especially after last year, it's going to need to be a big one. It's going to need to be a step forward from 23, but it's going to need to be a massive leap from 20, or I guess big leap from 23, small leap from 23, 24, they're going to need to take a big step from where they were last year.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, obviously. So
yeah, we'll see what happens here. But if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Ryan Ripken Show. We do this live Monday through Friday right here on YouTube, X, and Facebook. We got a little bit off on the topic there. We'll create better tiers moving forward. Hey, Zach, we should do those tiers for even.
We can do position players. Trust me, you can create a lot.
You chili.
Yeah, we can literally. It's literally called.
It could do top tier phrases that you can use, like on. And that can be from 8. Sayings where you're like, oh, that's a compliment or a saying that's just S tier or top tier. And then ones that'd be at the bottom is if like you keep calling someone like, hey, buddy, hey, good to see you, chief. Like it's kind of like it's an insult. So that'd be at the bottom, right? Get what I'm saying?
Yeah. We got a lot. We can do a lot here. So maybe we make this a fun Friday type thing. We can even do graphs. We can do a lot, actually.
Graphs? Okay. Well, right now, why don't we just do a couple fun things that you guys missed? If you're talking about getting in shape, staying fit, and you're like, yeah, it's hard, it's a struggle, it's a challenge, and we all have our limitations. Well, we see what Chris Fowler's still doing.
That dude, he's a unit.
Well, he's 63?
Yes.
Dude, he's the definition of a brick shit house. Or is it brick house? Brick shit house.
Shit house. Just like
63 years old. Just is like, yep, knees healthy again. Favorite lift. First time I've done this in 3 months. And that's
first time in over 3 months.
Yeah, so then that's 275 maybe.
Yeah, because we're going 45, 45. Yeah, I mean,
good for him.
Chris Fowler, hell yeah.
Hey, you know what also is good for him? How about Joe Flacco? Buddy, Joe Flacco for the first time ever is a Pro Bowler.
Well, first time that he's accepted because he had an opportunity before. But Joe Flacco, baby. Flacco.
And look, who would have thought the Browns had 2 Pro Bowl quarterbacks this year?
Yep.
How about that?
You think Dylan Gabriel feels left out?
Yeah, you never know. There could be time still. If Joe just got added, they could add another one.
That would be hysterical.
Has that ever happened, having 3 quarterbacks from the same who started?
There's no two have. I doubt 2 has. Because that's be the first time 2 quarterbacks that start on the same team made the Pro Bowl in the same year.
It's wild. Some would say this shit is bananas, Zach. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. Speaking of Shador, though, or the Browns quarterbacks, well, Shador right now is the starter going into the next year. And our boy Todd Monkin got to see Shador, and the Browns had a little video clip of it. And just in typical Todd Monkin fashion, do we have that clip for it? Yeah. Typical Todd Monkin fashion, he welcomed Shador and made him aware he didn't forget what happened this past draft.
What's going in at? Oh, yeah.
Hello, young man.
What's up? Good to see you, bro. How you doing? Welcome back to the States.
How we doing, man?
Good.
Yeah, we tried to draft your ass last year. It's all worked out.
Yeah.
You remember that, right?
Yeah, that's what I was about to tell you.
Someday we'll get a chance to talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, sit down.
Oh, Todd.
That's electric.
Electric.
That's why for Browns fans out there, I don't know if you're going to win a lot of games. I hope for their sake. I really want Todd Monkin to do well. Really do. Because when you see that, like, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get an authentic guy. He's going to shoot the shit, but he's going to shoot it straight to you. And I think that's a really refreshing thing. And also, that's what you want. That's what you want. Yeah. And especially in a person of leadership or power. You want someone that can connect with players, Zach, can get a message across in a locker room. Now, I just had sources tell me recently There was one thing I guess we didn't really talk about yesterday was that Jesse Minter, while being introduced, there's some buzz kind of stirring of things aren't actually great. And one industry source told me, Zach, if I'm Lamar, I wouldn't take advice from Jesse Minter because what has he accomplished at the NFL level as a head coach? And so that's something that I'm looking at very closely. And I think we all need to watch that now because I don't know if Jesse is going to be able to command the room. There's questions.
Yeah. Everyone's favorite analyst, always asking the important questions.
Yep. My industry source, he never goes wrong. Well, he actually did go wrong. And if you guys got that reference, I was referring to Emmanuel Acho. So Acho was on Speakeasy yesterday and made the claim, the take of if you were Shador, why would you listen to Todd Monkin? And paraphrasing, why listen to a head coach that has never been a head coach at the NFL level? What has he proven? What has he done? But also during the argument, he's like, well, what is an offensive coordinator where you won national championships and helped Lamar Jackson win another MVP and have one of the most prolific offenses in NFL history? But what have you done to gain the respect and leadership from locker rooms? That was an interesting take. Such an interesting take, Zach, that it had 10 million views at one point last night and under 1,000 likes.
Yeah, it's bad. It's impressive. You have to have a bad take for that to happen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So why don't we – Acho had a response, and then I know we have the Ravens news that we will talk about here with Declan Doyle in a second. But Acho responded to all the hate. Yeah. So why don't we play the clip and we'll talk about it.
Hard. But I don't just have one M. I have two M.
I would take it to heart.
I like when he talk like
I don't
that.
just have
Talk
one
your shit,
best-selling
young
book.
man.
Pop it, okay.
Or two best-selling
Okay.
books. I have three best-selling books.
Come on now.
And a New York Times bestselling.
Yeah. I would take that to heart, but I didn't just give like a TEDx talk. I was asked to give like a national TED talk in Vancouver. I would take that to heart, but former President Bush flew me to Dallas to speak to him. I would take that to heart, but Michael Jordan called me and said, hey, fly to New York and speak to my company. I would take that to heart, but Oprah Winfrey got my number and called me and said, hey, Emmanuel, you're writing a book. I want to write a book with you. Happy birthday, Oprah. Today's her 72nd. I would take that to heart, but I gave a commencement speech to 60,000 at the University of Texas at Austin, my alma mater, in the stadium. So I just can't take to heart that I don't do this because I don't like the toot-my-own horn, but when I do, it's just toot. So I can't take to heart that I'm not good at this because everybody talking to me respectfully, y'all might have been better players, but when it comes to this, we're just not on the same level. Every now and then, you have a bad take.
Yeah. All right, that's real.
He should have just said it at the ending was the best part. The ending was what he should have just said. The ending.
See, Zach, it could have saved us all time. And as a society, when you're like, yeah, you know what? That take, pretty bad. That was a horseshoe take. Hey, horseshoe take. I own it. My bad. Didn't come out the way that I wanted to, or whatever. Or if you don't even want to say that, just saying, we make some bad takes at times.
Yeah.
And
here's
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, if he would have come on and been like, guys, that was a bad take. Like, let's just call it what it is. That was a bad take. Like, then I think everyone is like, yeah, it was. But that's okay. We all have bad takes. I've written books. I've done that. None of that has to do with the football knowledge that we were questioning when you said that. And then at the end, he's like, you might have been better players than me, but this and this were not on the same level. We're talking about football. Like, no one said that you aren't an intelligent human being. We were talking about how horrible of a take that was. No one was questioning that you don't have brains or that you can't talk or that you haven't accomplished things. That was just no matter who said that. Like Mina Kimes, Dan Orlovsky, Mike Florio, Tony Dungy, anyone, no matter who said that, people would have been like, what?
So here's my thing. Like, dude, I'm happy. Congratulations. You have accomplished a lot of great things. I don't give a shit. I just said you had a bad take, or the whole world is just going, dude, that was just a load of grade A. If we're doing the tiers right there, that was just a grade D shit take, and that's okay. Cool. But when you talk about, hey, I'm humble, but let me tell you how humble I am. I've written books. Oprah and the president call me. I don't like to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it. I mean, Zach, like I said, I always want people, especially people that work hard, to have success. And no doubt Acho's done his thing, carved his space. Literally has nothing to do with the fact that you just said a player shouldn't listen to a head coach because he's never coached in the NFL as a head coach. That's it. This isn't rocket science. This isn't questioning your credibility or what you've accomplished. I honestly felt like you probably need to watch. You've never watched Billy Madison, Zach. I already can tell you. Haven't seen it.
I've seen it a long time ago, but yeah, I've seen it. Billy Madison was I would put that in the classics, but no, I have not seen that in years.
So Adam Sandler reads a book called The Puppy That Lost His Way as a question later on. And then the guy after was just saying at no part of your reasoning, there was no incoherent, rational thought. Like, for a person that is very well thought out, it was overthought. All you had to say was, that was a bad take. Thank you for listening. Let's move on. Have fun with it. I don't need to flex. Like, you don't need to flex on it. That's cool.
No.
Happy birthday, Oprah. I didn't know that. Happy birthday.
Oprah called me. I'm sure Oprah would have said that was a bad take.
Zach, for me, I'm trying to build up the own brand here and build up the infrastructure. And I always tell you, I like to think of myself as still being one of the smallest damn things. Like, no one really knows about us, and obviously we have people that know and watch the show, and we thank you guys and we appreciate you guys. But in the grand scheme of life, there's always a bigger fish. There's always more to accomplish. There's always more to do. And even for me growing up, one thing that I always took away is people are people. And yeah, the experiences you go through should be humbling. And I've gotten to do a lot of cool things. And there's some stories that I haven't shared on here, Zach. You know some of them. And because that's not my style, right? Like, I don't need the approval from the masses on what I have or haven't accomplished. I want my accomplishments to speak for themselves, not me speak on my accomplishments. If I'm asked the question, hey, Ryan, what have you accomplished? Great, I'll answer that. But when you bring it up as a point of it and you say you don't care, you do care. You do. When I say right now, when people get mad at me, if I say, hey, the O's are fine, or I try to be positive or objective with everything that's happened or whatever it is, and I'm the worst, I get blamed, I'm a Nepo baby, I'm all this, okay. And when I say I'm okay with all the comments, I truly am. Because I've dealt with this shit my entire life, but I don't need to go and prove it to somebody else. The only thing I want to prove is, how do I make this product better? How do I keep moving? How do we make this fun? How do I want to be more entertaining? That's what I look at. But it's a different media world we're in. I didn't go into this media world to create the gotcha moments. Came into the media world to introduce myself and bring a group along with me that can be fun. We're still trying to figure this shit out. We are. But we've also have a lot of cool things. But we're still small. Humble. I think that was the one thing I wish he had just said the one thing. Because at the end of the day, I can look up. I already knew when I watched Acho. You've already done a lot of stuff. It's amazing. Happy for you. But you want to talk about people putting respect in your name. They respect you more when you don't say things like that.
Yeah.
Because let other people tell you how they respect you, not remind people of what you think you are because of what you've accomplished. So that's just my thoughts here.
I do like how he made a horrible take and his response was, I've written books.
Best-selling books. Best-selling books. You know what? I
didn't know Acho, and this is no disrespect, but like I had no clue Acho had written one book, let alone 3. Like,
I guess now we know.
We now know. Whole world knows.
Yeah. That was something. Well, Zach, a couple things, and we got to open up the lines for the better kids. So the Ravens did just announce they got Declan Doyle from the
Chicago Bears.
Chicago Bears. Ben Johnson's kind of right-hand man on the offensive side. And overall, I don't really have not in a bad way. Like I'm excited. I'm intrigued. Ben Johnson's a brilliant offensive mind. Clearly, Declan Doyle was going to get an opportunity, but Ben Johnson was always going to call the plays or likes to be heavily invested in the offense. And also, Declan Doyle's your first offensive coordinator job is going to be with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, and that's exciting. The only negative, Zach, here, I shouldn't even say negative. It's the question is with a new staff, new play caller, how do you create your style? That's the only thing that can be that it's to be determined a little bit about how is he going to progress. I love the hire. I think you got to take a chance on guys, but that's and you see what they've done and built, and you see the genius, and this is why I trust the Ravens. That would be the only thing knock if someone's going to sit there.
Well, I would also say, like, if we want to talk about it, he's the same age as Lamar Jackson. They're both 29. So that people are wondering if that's – but right-hand man to Ben Johnson. He's been the guy that everyone wants to call Ben Johnson the guru. This is the guy that was as close to him, his offensive coordinator, helping him with plays. He didn't call plays. That's why he's able to take this promotion. But, I think it's going to be an intriguing situation to monitor because, like you said, how's he going to work with Lamar? His first time calling plays. It's not like he's under an offensive head coach anymore. So it's his team or his offense. It's his unit. So very, very excited for Declan and excited to see how all this pans out, especially, working in the big run game there in Chicago. Everyone talks about Ben Johnson and, oh gosh, it's all the trick plays and the big plays and, downfield, all that. The root of his offense is still running the ball. So, I think Declan coming from that, it's still important. He's going to run the ball. He's going to establish the run. And then we should see a lot of fun things coming off that.
Yeah, I mean, the part that I think Ravens fans would want to see, besides you want to get like an alpha wide receiver. We've heard that part before. But regardless, I don't see Derrick Henry slowing down, Zach, his workouts, the regimen. And if he slows down a little bit, what's that number going to be? 1,200 rush yards instead of 1,500 that he had this past year. I think Derrick's going to be primed for a big year. I think they're going to get better in the trenches. But I think they're going to find more suitable places to lean on the strength of the run game and get creative in the pass game. I think that's the part that fans would love to see. So and it's an upgrade, and there's a responsibility. The only thing is learning how to call plays on the fly, and also the expectation that people are going to be looking for you to be perfect off the jump, which when it changes coordinators, sometimes it doesn't get going the way that you want to start a season. So how this offseason progresses, how they put things in OTAs, and how they get things in camp is going to be really important, to be honest. And then as you get into the months of the season or get by the first month or two, how is that evolving? Because I think that was the biggest thing seeing the Bears and Ben Johnson this year, Zach. They found that identity. They found what they needed to do well, besides that they, this fourth quarter has to start and, they'll start running around and Caleb Williams is going to throw it up and make plays. But they found an identity running the football. They found what worked.
And I think it's important because a lot of people will sit here and go, okay, well, he wasn't the one running the offense. So what did Declan Doyle do last year? If he's not calling the plays, what did he do? How much of a hand did he have in it? Well, Ryan, I'm going to be honest. I think there's only really one person who can give you that answer, and that's Declan Doyle. So let's hear from the new Ravens offensive coordinator, where he talked about kind of how the tandem of he and Ben Johnson worked, and kind of just give you a sneak peek on the new Ravens OC.
Into the season, we'll start to really hash out exactly what the responsibilities are. The biggest thing is we got to get a jump start on the tape, me and the rest of the staff. So we'll get a jump start on it. We'll start to prepare the game plan the way he would have when he was the coordinator. He's going to be handling some other responsibilities. And then when he's able to kind of transition back over to play caller, we have organized, the thoughts on how we're going to attack this defense, what kind of plays we want to run conceptually, and then, who do we need to feed the ball to? How is this defense going to view us from, what we're doing, and really set the table so that he can walk in and there's work already done, not he has to start from scratch. So the biggest thing is we're trying to save as much time for him as we possibly can. And obviously I'm spearheading that. I'm trying to orchestrating the rest of the staff, but we got to use our resources to try to make his life not as easy as possible, but just try to set him up for as much success as we possibly can.
So, you kind of hear there, he was not the one physically calling in the plays to the quarterback, but he's the guy who got everything set up. Hey, here's what we see on film. This is what we're running. These are the concepts we like. This is how we can attack. He was doing all the game planning. And then it was when it got to that point, he turned it over to Ben Johnson and was like, hey, here's what we got. Here's the game plan. Here's how we're attacking this. Here are the weaknesses, the strengths, everything. And here's how it works. Here's your play sheet to set you up successfully. You make the final call, but he's the one laying the groundwork. So this isn't a guy who just sat back and peeked over Ben Johnson's shoulder the whole year like, oh, what are we doing? He did the groundwork. He did, a lot of people I know, it's like, oh, he never called the plays. He did everything up until it came to putting on the headset and calling it in. And you can bet your buddy had a headset on listening to Ben Johnson, learning all of that stuff, what he liked to do in certain things. So it's not just, hey, this guy, he didn't call plays. Oh, he wasn't the OC. He wasn't calling plays. He was just a guy that was, given the OC role. He did the groundwork. He did the hard things. And his job was to make it, I'll say it for him, as easy as a transition as possible in the final days for him to go, okay, Ben, here's the play sheet. Here's everything you need to know.
And, the biggest thing right there that I want to emphasize is with that, you have to have the attention to detail. Mm-hmm. You have to be focused on the little things because you're trying to exploit what other teams' strengths and weaknesses are and how you best can combat that. So that's the part of it. And when people want to see offensive coordinators that are not calling plays, you wonder, is it because, they're not capable, or how much are they really doing? Because that's what also people think of an offensive coordinator that doesn't call plays, Zach, is they think that, they just can't handle it. Well, in this case, no, it's not. And you mentioned his age. He's young. He's what people are perceiving him as, and the reason why he had interest from teams and ultimately being hired by Baltimore is they believe with the concepts and what they've heard and what they've seen and what they've watched that he could be the next great coach, a great offensive mind. And this is the cycle of it. Could he be? Yes. Could it not work out? Sure. But don't let the fact that he didn't call plays scare you away. It's not the reason why he was hired. The Ravens aren't doing this blindly. But also keep in mind that the reason why he wasn't calling plays in Chicago is because the guy that was, that's why he was brought to Chicago to be the head coach, because he is one of the best play callers over the last few years in Ben Johnson. And if you don't believe me, you saw the difference with the Lions this past year and how they executed. Very different without Ben Johnson there. Now they had success, but not the way that Ben Johnson brought it together. And it's the same way across the NFL. Andy Reid, he's going to call plays. Why? Andy Reid is a great play caller.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that people that are working beneath them can't be great coaches either. So time will tell. Excited about it. Declan, let him cook. Let Declan cook. Is that the phrase? Declan cook?
Let Declan cook. Let's do it.
Hell yeah, baby. Well, we've been cooking today, and we appreciate you guys. And if you are a channel member, this is where, or for Rip's Better Kid channel members, every Friday we open it up, the last bit of the show, to talk with you about what you're thinking. Zach, do you want me to put it in, or you want to put it in?
No, I'll put it in right now. So it is for Rip's Brackets. The link is up. So, and I will say, just final things, everyone that watches, all the analysts and stuff so far are loving the hire. Not that that means anything, but
just hope he has
everyone's loving the staff that they
have put together. I mean, this is the part you're looking for, the next up and coming group. You want to hear, at the end of the day, is their makeup good? Do they seem to be creative? And are they willing to continue to evolve and go? That's how I feel with this Ravens staff. It's a younger staff so far with a couple pieces. We talked about Randy Brown being retained as a special teams guy. That's nice. That's a guy that's been around. You're going to have pieces throughout your team that have been around. But this is just where the game's gone. Hey, it led to a lot of success for the Rams when they took a chance on a young coordinator out of Washington at the time. Yeah. It ended up being, I'd argue, Zach, I know they fell short, but McVay, top 3 coach in the NFL.
Easy. Oh, easy.
Like,
yeah.
They go to the Super Bowl again. Probably top 2, possibly the one if they win it. Yeah. But he changed. Talk about a culture changer. That was Sean McVay. Mm-hmm. There's a lot more of those guys around the NFL, and hopefully the Ravens got one in Declan Doyle as we continue on. And then you put for Rip's Better Kids, is it in there?
Yeah, it's up there. I think
all right, so because I got to do 105.7 from 6 to 7 tonight. So
we'll go a few more minutes, see if anyone wants to hop on. But I will say, I'm excited, and I know I'm just kind of reiterating sentiments that have been talked about on the internet already. It's nice to see the Ravens go with a young, innovative play caller. Like, that's what the league has changed so much recently, and this is nothing against Todd Monkin, but it's different. Like, there are different perspectives on how the league is run. And I think Todd got the most out of Lamar. Todd is a great, head coach or offensive coordinator. We'll see what happens with head coach. But kind of the way the league's going is your offensive coordinator, your coordinators need to be these young up-and-comers that understand the game. It feels like there's one or two that are like, okay, they've solidified themselves as they're just, the Josh McDaniels, where it's like, yeah, it didn't work out the 2 times he put on the headset, but he's a damn good play caller. There's a few guys like that, but for the most part, you're looking for these young up-and-comers, these innovative people, and super excited for Declan in Baltimore.
It's, to your point, Ravens fans have been waiting or intrigued with taking a little bit more of a chance Well, this whole situation is taking a chance. New head coach, first-time head coach, new offensive coordinator, first-time calling plays offensive coordinator. Hey, they're taking that risk. Hopefully it's something that's going to play off in the long term. But could there be growing pains, Zach? Yes, that's also part of the process of this. So,
also appreciate this. Hey, it helps when we're live, but I do like to think, Ryan, we are decently quick. Even though we were not on for the Minter hiring, we were pretty on that. So appreciate that.
After we finished the show, the Minter hire.
And I'm sure Framber will sign as soon as we get off.
Yeah, I'm going to, yep, for sure. The other part, so if you are new to the channel, we do this live Monday through Friday. We talk a lot of baseball and football. Those are our main two. As we continue to grow, we want to continue to add in more sports, but those are the two ones in this region. And for our guest list, and we've had a Rolodex of guests, so if you're new to the channel, check them out. If you're curious about other other coaches that the Ravens hired, well, Mike Mickens, the new defensive back coach. We had former Raven Haruki Nakamura, who went to college and played with Mike Mickens, was a Raven for 4 years. Oh, and by the way, the GA grad assistant coach at Cincinnati when Haruki was playing was Jesse Minter. So that was a great interview. We had Nick Moore of the Ravens on yesterday. If you want to hear we're talking about bad football takes. Not thinking Fernando Mendoza is going to go high in the draft. Bad football take by Nick Moore.
Yeah.
So
he's got to write a book to make up for that one.
Yeah, he does. He does. All right. So Collins, because I also got to get on air at 6. So we got to.
We'll do quick Collins. Quick Collins.
We got 10 to 12 minutes of time here, depending on what we got. So I think we got Joe in the first.
Yep, we got Joe first up. So, Joe, how's it going?
We have the same beard, I see, Joe.
Yeah. The same hairline, except I accepted mine.
Damn, man. Hey, dude.
My God.
Hair. This is supposed to be Happy Friday, man.
It is Happy Friday, but I had to get in on the hairline joke. Aren't you 42? Didn't somebody say 42?
Yeah, the new head coach of the Brown.
Yeah, aren't you 42?
The Todd father, yeah.
Better than
I'm only 43.
Oakley.
I'm only 43, so it.
Yeah, Brandon Stokely just absolutely shredded. Oh my God!
I mean,
put me in a body bag. He did.
Zach grows it out and wears the hat, so nobody notices the hairline.
Exactly. It's smart. It's what you got to do.
It's smart.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's good. It's all good. I mean, I'm gonna keep my hair for what I have for now, and then we'll address it at a later point in time. Joe, talk to me though. What do we got today?
It's finally sunny. It's thawing out a little bit, so I don't have like 6 layers on today while I'm working. It's a short work week. We got Monday and Tuesday off because it snowed a little bit. It actually iced. It was more ice. It sucked. It really did. It was like 5 inches of ice. You could step on it and you wouldn't even penetrate it. It was terrible.
Yeah. Oh, you've heard Zach's shoveling campaigns?
Yeah, I did not shovel. I did not shovel very much. I had to. What was it? Last night. Last night I got the Red Bull truck stuck in the driveway, so that was fun.
Beautiful.
Had to push that. Had to break the shovel out for that. Night before, the child came and got both vehicles stuck.
Good.
And yelled, "Why isn't this driveway shoveled?" Well, because no one else but you and the sports car have a problem getting out of it. That's why. But there's that.
You could have asked Zach to shovel it. He's shoveling everyone's driveway.
Hey,
price is going up. We got to start.
The guns. He wants to
get those, no guns at all. It was all lower back, which was the issue. We did not. Any guns I had left or resemblance of that went out, just no use. It was just all lower back.
Those are coming back, though, Zach. We're working on that in 2026.
Still not going to help with all that lower back.
Well, because we gotta get the glutes firing. Like you gotta get the fire.
I wish people would have seen the pieces of ice I was picking up. was like massive.
It's dirt. I've been working all day. It's dirt, Laura. It's dirt.
It's a hard day's work.
Hard
Dust
working,
and dirt
hard working,
from all
Joe.
these boxes.
Someone's got to do it, man. Hey,
It is the last day of the month, so pushing hard, especially with two. I've had more time off this month than I've had in years. I had the flu that knocked me out for 2 days. Then we had the incident we talked about last week that knocked me out for a day, and then 2 weeks, 2 days this week. So I've missed a total of a full work week in January, and plus 2 holidays. So that's 7 days. That's
damn.
Yeah, behind the. And I'm moving like I'm 65 because I have very bruised ribs.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I also feel like I'm 60.
you know, it sounds
another
like
reason not to shovel.
Yeah.
But I would like to
Yeah. Go ahead.
say one thing.
Mhm.
I won't go into details about what happened, but I will say the aftermath. I had never had an incident with the law in my life. First time. They were very nice, cordial. The police get such a bad rap overall for anybody and anything. I had a good experience. It wasn't how I anticipated it being, but it was what it was. Everyone was very nice. I was in the hospital for a couple hours. The police officer and I had cool conversations. He used to be a truck driver. He liked his Red Bull, all that kind of stuff. It was a great experience. I wouldn't not great getting locked up, but overall the experience with the police and law enforcement was good. They don't get paid enough for what they do.
There's a lot of jobs that can be selfless. I think with everything that goes on in the world, right? I don't like to get it. This isn't a speak about this because in sports media, I think also when people go, "Oh, media is all bad," and as a player growing up, I had more of a distrust because it's like, who do you trust? And then you get into media more. Not that I fully felt that way because I go, man, these people are really nice. And then we talked about what happened with the whole Acho situation. You know, there's a lot of great people in all facets of life and work, and that's just the reality of it. You know, it's just that's just the truth of it. So appreciate you sharing, Joe. Last thing, because I got to make sure I get to 105 to call in a second. We got one more call. You got a fact for me?
Arkansas baseball starts in 14 days. Let's go.
Undefeated season in 2026 is what we're hearing.
It could happen. It's doubtful that you have an undefeated baseball season, but it could happen.
It could happen. And if it does, Zach is going to go jump in the harbor.
That'd be
It's
cool.
clean these days, they say.
They say.
They're
mean,
putting it out there. So it's out there.
Marshall's gonna represent the Sun Belt in College World Series, right, Zach? They're gonna get past Coastal this year. You gonna beat Coastal?
No, we're taking baby steps.
Yeah, baby steps at a time. All right, Joe. I appreciate you, man. Be safe, and appreciate you calling in, and we'll talk next time, all right?
Later, gentlemen.
All right, Joe.
Awesome.
All right, we got to keep rocking and rolling. For those that are new to the channel, for our Ribs Better kids, you're a channel member on Fridays. You can call in and join the action. I got to be on air because I'm just going from one thing to another. Feels like that's Groundhog Day for me, though, Zach. But we got
Laura behind the scenes.
Yeah, okay. So we got Laura. We got time. All right, let's do it. Laura, how we doing?
Super quick. I just want to make sure that you are going to use my money appropriately next week.
Laura, you know.
What do you think I would use it for?
Okay.
We're making a parlay. We're making a massive parlay. That's how we're paying for everything.
Okay. No worries. And then, of course, when you come down here to Sarasota, again, first round is on me.
Okay.
Okay.
I feel on that. We might be expanding around just Sarasota.
That's fine. That was really it. My only other thing is I'll say it here, although I will remind him again. Joe, don't forget your gloves on Monday, because apparently he has worked the last 2 days in the cold without his gloves, and he keeps forgetting them.
Yeah, Joe, remember the gloves.
Yeah, remember the gloves. Yeah, Ryan, and where's your book? Like, come on. How many books have you written?
I will say one thing that I will remember this. When we had Ian O'Connor on, he did say to me, I said, I'm going to write a book sometime. And I loved it. And I loved having him on, but I will remember this comment. And he said, well, the book would probably, your dad probably would have a bigger seller. I go, oh, he's written books, the children books, and they're great. It's great. The Iron Man, buddy, no one's going to be ready for a Rip After Dark novel. Rip After Dark, the book. And I know seeing comments in there about childhood opportunities, life. I will say, and I can't explain more of it, but there is a project, not a book, that could create a little bit more content around, I would say it'd be a little more personal, but then the guest, it gets a little bit more personal in a knowledgeable, nostalgic, maybe a Zach Bollinger sentimental way.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, let me let you go because it is 10 after 5. I don't know how far you got to go, and it's cold and snowy out there. So
I appreciate it. Yeah, I will be wrapping up, getting on the road. Zach knows. Actually, this part of you know what? I'm not going to say. I'm not going to jinx myself. I think it's going to be okay.
correct.
I appreciate it.
And I will see you all in a few weeks in warm, sunny. It's not warm today. It won't be warm tomorrow, but hopefully it'll be warm by the time you get down here. Warm in sunny Florida.
It's 45, 50 degrees?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Look, tomorrow is Gasparilla, the parade. And the high is only going to be like 50 degrees. And it's a 40% chance of rain.
Torture down there. God.
You cannot conduct a proper pirate invasion in those kind of conditions.
they would then it would not be okay up here. No sugar. All right, Laura. I appreciate it. Thank you. Happy Friday. Take care of yourself. Man, well, I appreciate our friends, our channel members. Thank you. And again, for people that are wondering, hey, what's going on there? On Friday, we have the channel membership, the Rips Better Kids. If you join and become a member, on Friday, you can join towards the end of the show, and we talk about what you kind of want to talk about. Now, today it was a little bit more, we're shooting it. Other days, we've been talking about news and sports and maybe some things that have happened in the past that we need to rewrite the history, So all that and the above, but we want to open up that option because that support, it means a ton to us, and we love hearing from you. Genuinely, we do. I can speak for Zach, even though sometimes he's thinking, I don't know if I even like hearing Ryan, but he doesn't have a choice if he wants to be on the Ryan Ripken show.
What we do all the time,
Yeah. Oh, sugar. All right. So update for next week. One more time for the one time. If you listen on Apple and Spotify after, okay, we will be live Monday through Friday over in San Francisco. We don't know the full live setup, and it's going to be contingent on our internet setup. We're trying to get that all situated, but what I can promise you, there will be a ton of content. And for our channel members, the Better Kids, Good Kids, we will make sure we have content that is flowing to you, and we hope we're able to do our live show at its normal time. But we do have a lot of guests lined up. We do have a lot of memorable personalities.
Yeah.
We also have a lot that are still in store. So it's going to be great. We can't wait to share that with you more. So thank you for all the support. And I want to thank our partners for the support. Merritt's thing's gone here, but it's Merritt's here. Yeah. I worked out with them this morning, Zach. You would have died. And then AutoStream, I put out one of those reels, Zach, the icy reel. It's not what you thought was coming.
It was something. That was the definition of something.
Definition. All right. Oh, I don't know if I can run to the thing. To the window. To the wall.
Do do do. Do 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 do. Do do do. Bow 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 bow.
as always here on the Ryan Ripken Show. We appreciate. Oh my goodness, we appreciate each and every one of you. Have a day. Have a night. Have a great stinking weekend. We'll see you in San Francisco. And if you want more content, hit that like and subscribe button. It's going to be one hell of a week out there. Be good, be safe. Talk to you soon.